G'day and welcome to another Pokemon Go video. So jumping into Go Battle League, as you can see currently rank 9 and all the leagues are open, so I'm going to jump into Ultra League and see how we go. So the teams they have there, I'm going to switch those up a little bit. I'm going to run Shiftry in the lead, so I've got a Hundo Shiftry and it is best buddied. Snorlax and Alolan Muk. So the moves I want to be running on Muk is Snarl, Dark Pulse and Gunk Shot. Snorlax, Lick, Body Slam, Superpower, and Shiftry, Snarl, Leaf Blade and Foul Play. And the reason I say the moves I want to be running you're about to see in this very first match. So Snarl, because it is dark type, out comes a Mew, so absolutely outstanding. Turns out I've only got a single move on my best buddied Shiftry, and it is running full grass type moves. So not ideal, to be honest, in this first match. So throw the flame charge, get a little bit of extra energy, charge up to double Leaf Blade here and see what we get. So got the first shield. Unfortunately, they did get to the second flame charge. I will have to shield that up as well. So now this time I'm going to overfarm a little bit again, and then throw the Leaf Blade. So 2 shields to 1, so they have got the shield advantage. Out comes Sir Fetched. And there goes the second shield. So this is going to look to charge me down. I do get to another Leaf Blade, so absolutely outstanding here, and then they're able to charge me down. So these bring out Alolan Muk and see what they want to do. So going to throw my Dark Pulse now onto the Snorlax and look to switch into my own Snorlax here to be able to absorb some of this damage, just because it doesn't have a great matchup with the Sirfetch'd. So going to throw the Superpower here, look to take this out before it can do more damage. Sirfetch'd comes out and instantly throws energy, which is absolutely perfect for me. It is unfortunately just the Night Slash, so they're going to be able to farm me down. In comes the Alolan Muk, and they're going to throw another Leaf Blade. Leaf Blade does nothing. Going to be another Leaf Blade. So they're going to town. I've got a lot of energy stored up. Thankfully, Alolan Muk does resist all grass type damage, and then I'm going to be throwing the Dark Pulse here to be able to take it out. So it's a good game and very close on the first game. I am going to jump out of here, change my fast move on the Shiftry and give it a second move, because we don't want a repeat of that. That game would have been a little bit different had I been access to the moves that I actually wanted. So Shiftry's back in. Unfortunately, we've got a Machamp on the lead, so it's a really bad lead. They decide not to shield this up, so I am actually going to shield this up and then going to look to draw a shield from them. So able to get to the second Leaf Blade. I do expect them to shield this up, which they have, and then they will unfortunately fast move farm me down, so that's really not ideal. I'm going to come in with the Alolan Muk here to absorb some of that damage. Obviously the Snorlax is not ideal in this situation, so not going to shield this up either, so I expect another Cross Chop to come through. Cross Chop is coming through, and then they swap into the Melmetal. So going to throw the Dark Pulse there, charge to another Dark Pulse and try and catch a move on my Snorlax, hoping to catch a Rock Slide. So able to catch a Rock Slide, hoping that they decide not to Superpower me here. If they decide to Superpower, going to be a bad day. So they do Superpower me here, and I am looking to farm up and throw my own Superpower. We'll see if we grab a shield here. We do grab a shield, and I'm contemplating what I do. So it's another Superpower, and out comes the right there. So that explains, so they're going to throw the Rock Slide, and then I'm going to look to throw another Dark Pulse. This will be taking out the Melmetal, however they have a full health Registeel in the back, so really not a fun time. So double Steel team there, which is not ideal, and at this point I decide that that is my weakness. So looking to change my Snorlax out here, and I'm going to swap Swampert in and see how we go. So we'll see if this makes a difference. So far, one win, one loss, and hopefully we can even up those, well, skew those numbers in my favour. So unfortunately got an error finding that match, and we'll jump into another one. Able to find that one okay, and Togekiss on the lead, so absolutely horrendous lead for me there. I'm going to throw into my Alolan Muk, and they instantly swap into the Swampert because obviously that's got 0 play against my Shiftry. I do over farm to try and bait a skunk shot, but and then shield up their earthquake. So that's a huge shield, and really glad I committed a shield there. They are able to get to another charge move. I do expect this is going to be a hydro cannon, which it is, and it takes me almost to KOing. A little bit of lag at the worst possible time almost meant I couldn't get my dark pulse off, but I was able to do so. They do have a lot of energy, so I'm going to come out with my Shiftry, and I do expect them to throw a Hydro, so no shield there. They're going to throw another Hydro Cannon, which is unfortunate for me, and look to swap into the Togekiss and burn all that energy. So that's a really bad time for me. So I had back-to-back Leaf Blades stored up, and then all that energy gone. So going to have to charge up to almost double Hydro Cannons because the charms are doing a lot. I'm able to take down the Togekiss, and this is looking real bad. So out comes Registeel. I do charge straight up to a Earthquake, not quite able to take it out. Get to the Hydro Cannon before they're able to do anything, so this is why I've got Swampert, because of the Regis, and then out comes their Swampert, and I'm able to get to a Hydro Cannon. So I'll be honest, I have no idea how I managed to win that game. Was just getting to my charge moves before the opponent, and absolutely outstanding, able to Swampert, absolutely sweep in the back. So Earthquake into the Registeel there, absolutely massive. So and also being able to burn shields early, perfect. Unfortunately, they did burn 2 Leaf Blades worth of energy, which is really unfortunate. So one of the bad things about trying to run Ultra League at the moment is the lack of opponents. So unfortunately, it's been really difficult to find opponents, as you'll see. So searching, and it does take a while to find them. So that's one of the big drawbacks of trying to run an Ultra League at the moment. Finally found an opponent. And the other issue is that if you're running into people that are, and out comes Obstagoon, which is okay, so I'm going to let that one go. Night Slash doesn't do too much damage. Going to throw the Gunk Shot, so straight for the Gunk Shot, and we'll see if we get a shield. So really hoping not to get a shield, and they no-shielded it, so that's absolutely massive for me, and we'll see how we go. So they're going to return the favour and trash can me to the face, but obviously Alolan Muk is going to resist that move, so I'm able to take the first match, and we'll see what they come in with. So they come in with Cresselia, which is an interesting choice. I am able to get to another Dark Pulse, and they take the Dark Pulse. So again, interesting choice there. See what they want to do. So I am going to shield this up. I'm hoping it's a Moonblast and not a Grass Knot. Unfortunately, it is the Grass Knot bait, so I'm going to overfarm just enough here with my foul play. I get their first shield. I'm going to go straight for the next foul play. We'll see if we grab another shield. Able to grab their second shield and almost charge to another charge move. They do throw the Moon Blast that time, and I shielded up, so that's absolutely spectacular. So out comes the Giratina here. And I'm going to let these, well, I say going to let these, shields are down, so I'm going to go straight for the Earthquake and try and tank all of the Dragon Claws, and we'll see how we go. So, another Dragon Claw coming through. I'm expecting it to be pretty close to back-to-back Dragon Claws here. Not quite. Trying to charge up, and just before they throw their Dragon Claw, not going to get to the Earthquake, so I want to throw the Hydro just to do a little bit of chip damage there. There's the chip damage, there's the Dragon Claw coming through. They under-farmed that because they wanted to charge me, farm me down to be able to throw energy onto my Shiftry when it came out. I saw that, so wanted to switch straight away. So obviously swap that in. In comes the Cresselia. One fast move and able to take that game. So they really good undercharge by them, but obviously I knew that exactly what they were doing, and their Cresselia in the back had absolutely no play, had one fast move worth of damage, so was able to take that out really quickly. But seeing that they undercharged, they wanted to farm up extra energy and be able to throw a charge move instantly on my, have more energy to throw potentially back-to-back charge moves on my Shiftry when it came out. So able to swap that in and take that game. So good game right there. We come into a Dragon Burst Gyarados, which is not ideal. So I'm going to charge up to just over 1 Leaf Blade's worth and throw that. So no shield there, and they swap into a Alolan Muk. So here I swap into my Swampert, and I'm really hoping that they're going to go for a Dark Pulse bait, and they do, so it doesn't really matter. I'm going to go straight Earthquake and hope they don't shield. Unfortunately, they shield, so that's a massive shield on their part. Out comes another Dark Pulse here, and I'm going to shield that up. Got to a Earthquake, but they got to their Dark Pulse just before I did, and unfortunately going to overfarm that. Throw in a Hydro Cannon here, hope to get their second shield, and they didn't shield, so that's really unfortunate. They swap into their Gyarados, and this is going to burn all of that energy that I do have, so really doing poorly on the swaps, and the opponents are doing really well on swapping in and burning my energy, so able to take out the Gyarados there, and then going to throw my Leaf Blade onto the Alolan Muk. Unfortunately, they're able to get to another Dark Pulse before I'm able to get to my Leaf Blade. I am able to actually get to that Leaf Blade, so happy days, and able to take it out. In the back is a Reggie, and this is unfortunate because they're going to be able to outpace me here and take this game. So they're just going to go straight Focus Blast here. I do want to charge to back Dark Pulses to try and avoid any extra fast moves that they may get, but as you can see, Dark Pulse just does not do enough damage. So the only hope I have here is trying to catch a charge move. Unfortunately, my switch clock is not up, so I'm not able to do it, and they Focus Blast to take that game, and lock on farm down my Shiftry because it's got absolutely no health. Able to win 3 games and get a Scraggy. So no legendaries and doing okay. So jumping into the next set, so 3 and 2 is not too bad. Unfortunately, I wasn't doing too well on my opponent's switching in and burning. Well, I was doing very poorly with the opponents switching in and burning all my energy by doing combo plays, but that's just something you've got to get used to. So looking for another match, and as you can see, it is taking an absolute age to find a match. Finally found a game. So good old Board of Meta. And they come out with a Gramble, so that's not ideal for me, but it is throwing the dark type moves instead of charms, so I should have been aware of that and stayed in that fight, I think, and seen how we went. So going to swap into the Swampert, as you can see, and they counter swapped into the Cresselia. I expect this to be a Grass Knot, but it is a Moonblast, so it does mean that they're not running Grass Knot because there's no reason to throw a Moonblast. I'm going to charge up and throw a Leaf Blade because I was hoping to grab a shield. Unfortunately, I was not able to grab a shield, and I will shield this up because they're not running the Grass Knot. I know it's going to be a Moonblast, so want to shield that up from the Cresselia. Out comes the Gramble again. It is another close combat. Was hoping that wouldn't be the case. It's going to throw another charge move, so it is absolutely going to town on those close combats, doing a lot of damage. So grab a shield there, and then they're able to charge me down. So going to instantly throw the Leaf Blade here and hope to, well, did grab their final shield, expecting to see another close combat come through, so do need to shield that up. Going to look to completely farm that down, which I am able to do. See what comes in next. Out comes the Gramble. Going to throw straight in because I do not want them getting to another close combat. That is absolutely going to one-shot me. And then out comes, absolutely perfect, a Shadow Swampert in the back. So this Shiftry did put in some work and absolutely swept that team. So really, really good there. Able to take that game, and we'll jump into the next one at some point. So right there, what you need to do is just be a little bit more wary. So obviously, because they were running a Snarl variant of the Gramble, they're going to charge energy a lot quicker, but also the fast move damage wasn't going to be as much for good old Shiftry. So I could have stayed in that match. As it turned out, because they had the Swampert in the back, I was able to take that game pretty comfortably in the end, because especially Shadow Swampert, absolutely one-shot by basically any grass charge move, will one-shot it. And as you can see, really struggling to find games, so the games are just taking forever to find. And I'm sure there's a lot of people that have struggled, but because I sit in sort of a fairly average rating range normally, and at the moment, to be honest, I was really struggling, and it's really unusual for me not to be able to find a game for such a long time. So finally able to find a game, and we'll jump straight in. So Gengar on the lead for them, and they switch straight out into Lucario, and I make a massive mistake here. So I accidentally swap into Alolan Muk. 100% the Pokemon to swap into is Swampert there, and this is basically good game because it's just able to farm up a whole bunch of energy. It doesn't really need to shield Alolan Muk, unfortunately, because of its fighting typing. Whereas switch into Swampert, it's already got a power-up punch here. Swampert comes in. I'm going to have to shield this up in case it's a Shadow Ball. It is the Shadow Ball, so that's good for me to shield that one. And I'm going to go straight for a Hydro Cannon here because I do not want it throwing more, doing more damage. Unfortunately, that basically seals my fate, and the Pokemon to swap into there every day of the week is good old Swampert. If they swap that in, out comes a Gramble running Charm as the fast move, and this is good game right here. So going to be throwing the Leaf Blades, but unfortunately they got another Charm through before I could throw, so it is actually going to straight KO me as I come out, and then they're going to farm down the Swampert as well. So really unfortunate there, because I would have had a lot more play had I not swapped into the wrong thing, and would have gone, well, I had more of a chance to win that match. Unknown whether it would have been won or not. Always really hard to make that call. However, I would have had my Alolan Muk lined up with their Gramble instead of an almost dead Swampert. So really unfortunate there, and it's one of those things. Everyone makes mistakes, and that was a pretty big one to make, throwing out the wrong Pokemon. So when you're switching between leagues, that does happen. I mean, it is what it is. All is good, and we move on. So let's, as you can see, again, searching for the next game. And if you've looked at the clock up the top, you can see the minutes ticking away. So I did have a look through here to try and see what I can find, but just not coming up with any matches. And this probably gives me an opportunity to say I do have a link to my other matches this season. So Season 4 Master League, Season 4 Ultra League, Season 4 Great League. So I do have, I think, more matches in the Great League. I also include Halloween Cup in the Great League. Unfortunately, I somehow missed the entire Flying Cup. It was, I think, only around for a day, but unfortunately I didn't actually play a single match in the Flying Cup, which is really unfortunate, but it is what it is. So I'll link to a couple of those playlists, and you can check those out if you're interested to see some of my other matches this season. I have run in Master League. I'd Open Masters. I decided to run Mew as my lead, and that did work surprisingly well. I have run Mew in past seasons as well. So in Season 3 I ran Mew. In Season 4, so this one, I wanted to run Mew with Flame Charge, because obviously between Season 3 and 4 there was a buff to the move. So decided to run Flame Charge on my Mew in Open Masters, and works out pretty well. So really good there. Going to give up on that and jump in and see if we can find another match. So obviously I've been waiting around for 5 minutes to try and find a game, and as much as I would like to mix things up and use different teams, if I simply can't find a game, then I am going to have to jump out and jump into the Great League. So a little bit of a mix here. I'm going to be running the Grass Hole team, which I'm sure if you've seen some of my other recent videos, I have been running in those as well. So let's see how we go. Lead match. Shadow Skarmory on the lead, so that's really good. They swap into a Azumarill there, and I counter swap in with my Victory Bell. So let's see what they want to do here, and then so throw the Acid Spray, and they don't shield up obviously, and then we'll see what goes on. So waiting for my switch clock to count down, and we'll see what they want to do. So they're going to throw a move, and I'm going to let this go. So regardless of what it is, so it is the Sky Attack. Not going to do too much damage. I'm going to be throwing back-to-back Sky Attacks on me, which is absolutely fine. And we'll see what they have in the back. So usually, and it's an Alolan Marowak. So really not ideal for me, but not too bad. Unfortunately, Alolan Marowak has got a buff with good old Shadow Bone here. So I want to save up a charge move and then switch in. I was trying to catch a Bone Club there, but did get the Shadow Bone, and they did get the attack debuff, which is really bad. Really not what I wanted. So they're able to almost charge me down. I do have a charge move stored, and going to CMP tie there. Unfortunately, they got their move through, but that's okay because it didn't KO, and then able to get my Stone Edge through and take the game. So good game right there. Really good, able to take game number 1 in my Great League for this set. In comes the next one. So rank 10 player, we'll see how they go. Rocking the pose, I guess. I mean, it could be an elbow bump for all I know, but it's meant to be like a Pokeball drop, I believe. So obviously matched up with them, and then they left the match. So unfortunate, I guess. Really weird, but we'll jump straight back in. And as you can see, Great League matches, just instantly getting those matches. So there's just no one in Ultra League, which makes it really hard to try and get through sets, especially if you're waiting over 5 minutes per game and still not finding anything. So out comes the Shiftry, which is a really solid choice, and it is spamming the Leaf Blade, so that's really interesting. So it was really trying to catch a Leaf Blade there, but was not able to do so. So I switch into my Tropius and they switch into their Skarmory. So really solid lead, a really solid matchup for them. But obviously with the Grasshole team, this is what I want. I want to bait out their anti-flyer and then come back into that with my own Bastiodon. So the only issue here is that I waited a little bit too long to take this out. Thankfully they did not shield that up, so I'm in a very good position. They Brave Bird, which I guess is to stop me getting quite as much farm on them. Out comes the Azumarill, which is not too bad. They use their first shield, so I'm going to swap into my Victory Bell here. Obviously want to use my first shield. Ice Beam comes through. Out comes the Shiftry, able to charge that down, and then that's good game. They know it is over. So really good game there, and obviously they were not familiar with the Grasshole team, otherwise they probably would have left the Shiftry in against my Bastiodon. So what have we would have left the Shiftry in against my Tropius instead of swapping it out. So Mew on the lead, and they swap into Altaria. So interesting one there. So I'm going to go for the Aerial Ace to do a little bit more chip damage. Almost missing a few of those bubbles, but able to save them, thankfully. It is now going to throw a charge move, I expect, obviously Sky Attack, and I've undercharged that by a huge amount, and that allows me to get to another Brave Bird, but I don't want to actually KO here, so possibly what I could have done there is had I realised how close we were in damage, I would have gone for all of those bubbles, and maybe I could have taken that matchup. So let's see what they bring in. So out comes Azumarill there, and Mew comes out. So I'm going to look to charge this down. Obviously 2 shields. I need to save 1 shield for the Azumarill. Surf came through, and I'm expecting another Surf. It is Surf, so it doesn't take me out, and I'm able to farm them down. So obviously they've got 2 shields, so not looking good. So going to save up, throw the Acid Spray. I know I'm going to grab a shield, and then look to farm down, and able to do so. So absolutely massive there. No point throwing the Leaf Blade, because obviously 2 shields, they're going to shield whatever it is, and able to go 4 and 1. So 3 and 3 from those Great League matches, and 1 out of 2 for Ultra League with that horrendous swap in. So that was a huge mistake in game number 2 there, but it is what it is. Got rewarded with the Mudkip, got the Excellent Throw. I've got a video on Excellent Throw, so I'll link that now. But hopefully it showed you don't necessarily need legendaries to compete in Ultra League. What you do need is to swap into the right Pokemon. Hopefully that was useful for someone. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.